Hi, Capricorn. Thank you so much for not being worried about your reading. You shouldn't be anyway. It's all chillin'. I'm being a little careful. Just watching what you say. You know those moments where Capricorn loves to tell people what they need to know? You might want to just hold off on those moments a little bit. You know, just watch what you say. Watch what you say. Because this tower moment is like easily avoided if you just watch what you say. Don't come from a place of authority this month. I know how difficult that is. Be the boss at home. Don't be the boss anywhere else this month. Anywhere else this month. Be the boss at home, because the things you have to say might be a bit too much and you could jeopardize your financial situation. If you're in a situation where you have that moment of like, I could really talk down to this person right now, don't. 2 of Cups, bottom of the deck, along with the Judgment card. The love life is taking a very pleasant turn, I must say. So even though you have this tower moment here of watch what you say, Knight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, the tower, just watch what you say, watch what you say. Judgment card, watch what you say. Because that Judgment card, it's very obvious this season that a lot wants to come out. A lot wants to be said. We just don't want it to be you. 2 of Cups. So very, very fortuitous here. Because, I don't know, it could just happen at any moment. That's also the tower. Like suddenly meeting someone and you're like, whoa, that happened really, really fast. Like to the point where I don't even know if it's pleasant. It is. It's wonderful. It might turn into something super long term too. Which is not necessarily like it's not what you need, but I think it's what you want. I think you like the idea of someone pursuing you, courting you, you know, making you feel like they really want to be around you. I like it. If you're dealing with a fire sign, it looks like they are picking up the slack and definitely contributing to this energetic exchange. They're coming in as even now. So if this is a previous situation that's coming back around, it looks like they're willing to make the effort. This is a new situation. It looks very balanced. And sometimes Capricorns will get into stuff where they are giving too much. 8 of Swords. Towards the middle of the month, you could start to have this strange feeling of needing more connection. That's what I mean about being the boss at home. Make your home your passion, your work of passion this month. Make your home and your family and your loved ones your passion project this month. Really, it will bring you a lot of prosperity and a lot of calm. You may not even realize how much it helps you in your work life, but it will. Home boss. And if you start to feel like lonely because, okay, I'm supposed to be focusing on home, but what if I don't have much of a home? But you still have you. You're still home for you. There are things you need to and like to and want to do outside of work. And if you do any of those things, you have a pretty good chance of running into somebody like-minded that you'll really like being around. So don't be stubborn. Get out there. And if you're really wanting to hang on, looks here, Sag, like a Leo. If you're really, really wanting to hang on to that Leo, well, there's communication, but it looks somehow stuck. It looks like there's some stubbornness getting between you guys. Something that they're immovable on, something that you tried to talk them out of. If the fixed energy there is getting to you, if the Leo is being really, really stubborn, yes, you can communicate, but there's not much you can do, right? You can't change their mind. So there's no point in being Four of Pentacles about it. Now, if this is you feeling stuck in terms of one of the things in your life that Jupiter is going to bring all this abundance to, right? That Jupiter's right behind you. It might be working itself through you to get you to stop being stubborn about certain things. Forcing you to move forward, even though it's really painful, even though you might be thinking about it for a while. It's time, you know? And the whole world watches the journey. The whole world is watching all your great progress. The whole world tunes in to see what you're doing, all the great things that are coming to you. You can have a lot of success, but you have to move forward. This is especially true if you're a Capricorn rising. Really needing to let go of that fixed Leo energy. Really needing to accept where the stagnation has been and just leaving it behind now. Too many good things coming up. Sorry, no time to chat. And where are those really good things centered? Again, in your home, with your family. Stay close to that which you trust this month. Don't talk too much. Even if you think it's sound advice, just don't talk too much. At the end of the month, you're going to be like, oh, that's why. Yes, that's why. Yes, because it could really affect your work. And it could really affect your love life. And it could really affect your friendships. There's just a tinge this month to Capricorns. It's an edge that's a little too sharp. And as you can see from those beginning row of cards, it's a real concern. But once you get past that and you understand why, towards the middle of the month, you're like, oh, I get it. By the end of the month, you really get it. And in the interim where you're watching what you say and really pulling back on any time where you may be over-explaining yourself or maybe condescending to somebody, in those beautiful moments where you're totally chilling, you're going to meet somebody, or that energy of love is just going to overtake you and you're going to be like, whoa, I was just out for a walk. I didn't know this was going to happen. Yeah, just leave yourself open. One of the ways of leaving yourself open is not having a lot to say, not having a lot of opinions on things. Give your mind a rest. Give your mouth a rest. Give yourself a rest. Remember last month, Sagittarian really needed rest? You now need a lot of rest. So chill at home, work from home, move back home, all of those things. It's here, that need for security, Four of Cups, Four of Pentacles. You need security, you need to feel held down, you need to feel like you have roots. If you don't, make some. If you do, rely on them, lean on them. Don't run away to work and isolate. It's not going to work anyway. You'll just end up biting somebody's head off and it'll be bad for everybody, including you. Okay. Let's look at it. Mwah. Love you. Hi, Capricorn. Welcome. Okay. Let's put these to the side. It's your extended, or that's where your extended will start. And let's look at the original reading. Yes? Great. So, you want to say more, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Okay, don't get me wrong. Yes, the rings are new. Yes, they're from the same company. Finally hooked it up. Collab coming soon. But this is the company. I'm going to put their information below, including their Instagram, okay? Tell them I sent you. They'll know, but tell them anyway. And for the collab, I'm thinking, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. But for now, get on it. Okay. you want to say more. And I get it. You want to speak. And yet you have to balance how you feel this 1 month out of the year with the fact that you have this whole other life that is much more laid back in terms of the things you say and don't say. I'm not saying you're not thinking them, but the way you want to communicate right now is unlike you, and it's unlike how you spend the rest of the year. And so what I would like to see is you temper this, even though I know it'll be difficult, so you don't end up having to pay for it for the rest of the year. Regardless of how things start, you realize by the end of the month that things are so much better where you are and how you are, regardless of what you have tallied as not having or having. You still find by the end of the month that you feel really good about where you're at. And of course, that would make you want to hit the road on a new project. And by the end of the month, you have that. Also, last week of the month, your sex life could pick up quite some. Unexpectedly, actually. So, great. So really, you can see that the only pitfall would be to overextend, overspeak. Overextend in terms of work applies here too. If you know that you have this much room to work with, don't take on this much. You're really not going to be able to deliver, and you'll hate yourself for it. And why spoil the year than walking around for another, 6 months thinking about how you should have done it, how you could have done it, what you shouldn't have said, how you should have said it. Maybe you shouldn't have said it at all, and you should let the universe speak for you. Hey, there's a reason the judgment card keeps coming up. Outside of this pitfall, it looks really good, and it looks good in a way that it hasn't been necessarily very spicy for Capricorns in a while. This is great. This is even better. But you don't want a professional snafu, a friendship slip up, a pushing your partner, if you're in an established bond already, over the edge about something, and then instead of being able to enjoy the spicy time, you instead are riddled with the consequences of what you've said or done. And I don't think actually it's done. Sorry, I take that back. Said. It is. So, let's say that you're not stubborn, that you communicate from a place of humility and not pride, so you don't have anything to regret, so opportunities aren't lost. Let's say that happens. Let's say you don't give in to the more stubborn aspect of your nature. Because when I say that you're going to want to say something, of course, that means that something is going to happen to make you want to say something. You're either going to feel some type of way, some situation is going to come up that's going to make you want to say something. I'm not saying that you out of nowhere just want to attack people, or you want to profess your love to them, or you want to tell your boss that you could take on all of it and it's all going to get done. I'm not saying that it's just that. It could also be people really provoking you and you feeling like you're within your rights to be like, you know what? And sometimes I feel like the Eight of Swords comes up because it's the only way to get yourself to rest, but it doesn't really work. It's like forcing yourself to write a poem. It doesn't work, So better to avoid this. And if you do avoid it, then what? Well, if you do avoid the pitfalls of wanting to say too much, too soon, take on too much, cause the tower moment for yourself, react in a way where, although justified, not the right decision. There's a difference between what's justified and what's good for you. Right? So, now that we're at the tower moment, you can see where or how this can happen. If there's an air sign in your life that's trying to pick a fight with you, the best thing you can do is not engage. They'll have to engage something much stronger than you if you don't take the bait, which leaves you open for more important things. And perhaps it makes some people feel like they're left out in the cold. Not really your concern. I mean, anyone who's trying to create this energy in your life has every reason to feel this way, and they should. Right? All right. So let's leave it here. We'll pick up the extended here and start clarifying card by card. The Aries season guided meditation for all signs is up on Vimeo, and it's up through PayPal. The website has been redesigned and it's dope, and everything is really easy to find, including like, should I watch my sun, moon, rising? All of those questions are there. They're answered. Shout out to the Rev fam and the podcast fam, because the podcast is doing amazing. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, you can also find links to it on the website. But my company that I work with, Anchor, has recently been absorbed by Spotify, and now we are Spotify gang. So you can also find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Once you get into the podcast, then you'll understand what the Twitter world is about that we have going on. It's all a lot of fun. I can't wait to see you guys there. All that stuff will be below, okay? Love you. Yes, and the links for the rings.